Old School RuneScape just made Bingo an actual game mode. This Wednesday, October 15th, Jagex is releasing Gridmaster, a 1-month-long bingo event where every tile you unlock, you get an extra perk to make your account stronger. Think leagues, but getting a new relic every single task. This is the currently released bingo board. We won't get the full release until about 30 minutes before the event starts, but in true Jagex fashion, we're getting some fun videos and reveals beforehand. The rules are pretty self-explanatory. On the front side, you have a bunch of challenges you have to complete, like kill an ogress. Once you've completed it, the tile will flip, and you will be able to get a certain perk or relic. Once you complete all the tiles in one row or one column, one of these side tiles will be unlocked, and you will get another extra reward. But before we dive into this bingo board, and before I allowed myself to get rickrolled by Jagex, I'll let you know how you can participate. Just like leagues, you'll be able to join a separate Gridmaster world at these times on October 14th. This does unfortunately mean that you can't play your Old School RuneScape main account whilst also playing Gridmaster, so you'll have to make or log into a new account. However, Gridmaster is free to play, and yes, you won't be able to do everything or complete every tile. It'll still be the first time we'll be able to see how overpowered we can make free-to-play weapons with certain relics. For the real sweats participating and taking time off work, or even worse, the losers being full-time content creators, there's a massive reward if you manage to be one of the first 3 people to complete the entire board. You'll get to design a relic for the next league together with the J-mods, which for most of us would be a super cool experience. For all the others wanting to casually play, there are also some really cool cosmetic rewards for all your fashion-scapey needs. I'm pretty sure once you log into the Gridmaster world, you'll be able to wear these cosmetics to see how they look in-game, but you'll still have to buy them in the points store after Gridmaster's done to be able to use them in the mainlands. But now let's get into the exciting part. Which tiles should you do first? Which are extremely overpowered, and which are yet to be revealed tiles that we can already take a guess at, since Jagex has already been putting some mysterious hints on the board once you start clicking around. Let's start off with the first tile. If you go to this page, which is linked in the description, by the time this video comes out, it's probably already slightly outdated. We probably already got a couple extra reveals, but basically you've got the front side, which is the challenges, like kill an ogress, and then you flip it, and then it gives you the relic or the bonus that you get for completing that tile. For example, one of the first things you'll do, or the first thing you'll do, is complete the Gridmaster tutorial. That'll give you a very familiar choice, the 3 league relics. I'm going to go deeper into this on a video on Tuesday where I'm going to be theory crafting for 3 hours because the game is going to be down anyway. But basically, you get your first tier 1 relics from the previous league. I am probably going to be picking Animal Wrangler because it was just by far the best choice last league, but I'm also maybe taking a quick look at Power Miner to see how it would work in this meta. Also, don't forget that Gridmaster only lasts for 1 month and League lasts for 2, so it is going to be significantly faster and you're going to be even more powerful than you ever could be on League. Especially looking at this already, you have 49 tiles that all give you a bonus, and if you complete a row, you will also get an extra bonus as well. So you're going to be incredibly overpowered. I'll start from the top. Killing an ogress will get you the combatant relic. Basically, you can select 3 combat skills out of these. Then whenever you gain XP in one of the 3 selected combat skills, you'll gain 50% of that XP into the other 2. So for me, it's almost a no-brainer to pick ranged as my main combat style, which I'm going to be using through the entire game mode, and then probably putting the 50% into prayer and defense. That, by the way, also means that if I'm training prayer, I'll get defense and range XP at half the prayer, which could go incredibly hard because we all know how fast you can train prayer on a league, which is going to go incredibly hard because we just got a new league as I'm editing this video, where obtaining some valuables from Varlamore will net you with the Golden God relic, basically making prayer and money a non-issue. Next to that is defeating the Yalzek within the Inferno, so the Major within the Inferno. They've already confirmed that you can just go until a Major wave, kill the Major, and teleport out to unlock this tile. That'll net you the Slayer Master relic, which makes it so that you're always on task for all Slayer monster and you unlock all Slayer task perks for free, which is a nice thing to pick up. What most of you guys are going to find really funny and a really cool thing is the cook a shark while wearing a chef's hat tile. If you actually complete that, you get an unlimited shark. A shark that is never consumed when eaten. So basically, unlimited food in 1 inventory slot, which basically already explains how broken this game mode is going to be. If you manage to get a Zuck kill within 30 minutes or less, you'll be rewarded with the Guardian relic from the previous leagues. It's basically a thrall on crack. Moving on to the tile here on the middle left, gain over 30,000 coins from one alchemy spell. So basically you'll go to a store, buy, let's say, rune plate legs. I don't know if that alchs for 30k, but you'll buy something, alch it for 30k, and you will get Production Prodigy, a very familiar League relic where it basically processes everything in your inventory at once. So if you are smelting ores, everything will be turned into bars in one action. Then we have Subdue the Temporals, also one of the earliest things you'll possibly do, which will give you the Craftsman perk, which is the same as the Combatant perk, just for skills. You'll select 3 Craftsman skills out of these, and you'll get 50% of the XP in the other selected skills once you're training one of them. So let's go to the next free-to-play one real quick, which is the age-old Defeat the Lesser Demon in the Wizard's Tower. Now, I really hope that they have figured out some kind of instance, or they've put, like, 20 lesser demons in the Wizard's Tower, because otherwise this is going to be soft-locked for a lot of people on day one, and the queue is going to be insane. Because the reward is actually kind of important. The minimum potential relic, which means your melee ranged and magic hits will never deal below 5 damage. Now keep in mind that you can still miss, so you can still hit a 0, but if you hit, it is always minimum 5. Which is pretty damn good, especially for things like a blowpipe. And then the last one we've gotten revealed so far, but don't forget, there are still some teasers on this board that we're going to be figuring out in just a second. The next one that's revealed is once you get a rare unique from the Tombs of Amascut, so if you get a purple, you automatically get a mega rare. So on your first purple, whether that's a light bearer, a shadow, a fang, it does not matter. You will also get a mega rare scroll, so you can choose whether you want a scythe, a Tumican's shadow, or a twisted bow. But now it's going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because if you start clicking these, it will give you some random stuff like nice try, buddy. Do you really think accidents just happen? Question marks, easy peasy, not so lemon squeezy, blah, blah, blah. But if you click certain other tiles, it says something different. For example, I'm a secret. Flip me over to find out more. So we'll flip the tile, click this one again, and you get rickrolled. But there's actually some actual teasers in here as well. For example, right here, it says woof. Now we do know that every line you complete, you get another reward. Woof probably refers to the dog sword of the previous leagues, a weapon that combined all god swords into one. Now is also not a bad time to mention that the RuneScape community has been doing some digging, and they found some data leaks or whatever, and they have found certain tiles that could potentially be actual tiles that are yet to be released. And if we look at the bottom right here, the dog sword does show. Now I'm not going to be referencing this too much because it's not confirmed, so let's go back to the main board. Now the tile right next to the supposed dog sword is Pull the Lever Crunk, which is a reference to the Emperor's New Groove movie. If you then flip the tiles, it says Wrong Lever, which could refer to the King Black Dragon lair. So completing this entire row, which doesn't currently have any tiles revealed, could, like the league said, indeed, could give you the 1000 Dragon Ward, which is a shield that, while equipped, gives you immunity to a number of status effects like poison, venom, dragon fire, icy breath, etc., which could also be really good at the KBD. Now, Jagex has done more trolling than just rickrolling people. Paleset has explained it better than I could here, but basically, players were trying to find the tile icons that were behind the images by changing the extension of the image link. But unfortunately, Jagex knew people were doing this, so they've added these pictures to that. So nothing to be seen behind the tiles so far. I continued clicking around and found this. Because I'm not smart, I had to run through ChatGPT, and it revealed it's a missing letters cipher. Reading the missing letters, it says everything exists, which I don't know if it refers to every single league reward exists within this new game mode, or if it refers to echo bosses or something like that, but it's something to keep in mind. Everything exists, apparently. Clicking a little bit further on the rewards page here, or on the flipped tiles, we will also find this: Rictor, Ava, Own, Seraphina, and Atlax. Once again, because I'm stupid, I ran it through ChatGPT, and all these names vaguely refer to elements. Rictor, from like the Richter's scale, earthquakes; Ava, ranged; Seraphina, fire, which reminds me of a certain offhand weapon we all loved in the previous league, the Devil's Element. Since everything exists, quote unquote, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the rewards. But since one of these names refers to ranged, and one of these might also refer to strength, it might be a way stronger all-round offhand weapon than the Devil's Element was. Maybe they finally made it good. Once again, on the reward page on the top left, it also says "What are those?", which is a reference to a very funny meme from like 2010. But there's no doubt this refers to boots. Now, last league, we didn't have any boot rewards, so I don't really know what that could be, so if you guys have an idea, definitely leave it in the comments. We're getting to the final hidden leaks, with this being the last one that I could find. Damned if you don't. Once again, cross-referencing with the leaked image, this could mean we're getting the Gloves of the Damned back, which is basically a glove slot that doubles the power of your Barrow's set effects. I remember Verf being able to make an incredible Guttons build that couldn't die with these gloves, so they're actually pretty damn strong. But enough speculating, I'm sure we'll get a couple extra reveals over the weekend. And again, I'll be doing a full theory crafting stream here on YouTube on Tuesday at 10 AM CEST. The servers are going to be down for 3 hours anyway, so you might as well join me. But if you can't make it, the VOD will also be available to watch later. When Gridmaster launches, I'll also be live, basically constantly, on Twitch. So check out the description to follow me over there. See you very soon, and maybe we'll be able to design the next league's relic.